best of 3 video. I'm trying out Heist in the new Duskmourn meta. Let's see how it goes. So here I am. I have the option to play first. Say this is a good hand, good mana wise. I can cast all my spells, assuming I get one more per getaway, but so undersea sewers and there's a phantom interference on top. I'll keep it. Now, depending on how I play, I can go proactive with Lootmonger or reactive with interference, but I think I'm gonna play the long game here. I see great expectations now, even though that's a heist card that can be played by other decks, so I'm not gonna assume they're playing heist right now. As far as my strategy goes, basically I want to control the board until I can get Triumphant Getaway to steal many of their cards. I'm a counter here because maybe the opponent has an idea of why I'm playing, because I'm playing more of the common build for Heist. So this is just a list I found off the internet. And I can see, okay, yeah, the opponent's also playing Heist. Now with the Heist mirror match, you wanna deny their Heist cards. Usually I go for Triumphant Getaway there, but since I'm kind of behind on mana, then I choose not to. Probably a mistake there. I should have just waited for their end of turn. Now they can use that life drain effect of Triumphant Getaway right away. And that's something a lot of people forget. Triumphant Getaway has flash, so you can play it at the end of the opponent's turn. So should you need to counter a spell, should you need to play removal on the turn, you have that option by waiting for the getaway to be cast. Let's see how this goes. Opponent enticed me and they start their life drain tactic. Okay, opponent has another Triumphant Getaway. That means it's safe for me to cast Triumphant Getaway. So I'm gonna swing in. Oh, and I'm gonna see the opponent's 2 Triumphant Getaways and match their Triumphant Getaway. So, okay, so yeah, this is where I'm gonna start stealing their getaways. Their Lootmonger. So what's cool about Lootmonger is whenever you cast a heisted spell, you make a treasure token. So what I want to do here, I want to cast the Lootmongers, and since I'm almost out of cards in hand, then I won't have to pay that consequence of discarding, right? And basically the cards you own in exile are your hand. So as far as Duskmourn cards for Heist, I've seen Nowhere to Run, I've seen Charred Warrior, which you see in the opponent's deck, and I'm a little hesitant about Charred Warrior because it doesn't immediately come into play and do anything. It just makes things cost less. But if you play your Lootmongers and your heisted cards right, then that isn't too big of a deal. I think I'm going for Loot Box here, or Lockbox rather, because I want to have an answer to the opponent's counter spell. Now, I've seen Phantom Interference, but I think I also have to worry about that 3 mana counter target non-creature spell. Because I want to be stacking these Triumphant Getaways. Leave the Nightmare, that's the counter spell I was talking about. So I see that Weave the Nightmare. I answer with my counter spell. So here I am, I win the counter war. And I go for, just in case the opponent tries to cast Triumphant Getaway again. So right now, the opponent's a bit advantaged card-wise, but I have, I'd say, the field advantage. Then I just got the life advantage there. I'm not too worried about discarding Triumphant Getaway. I have another one in my virtual hand, and then Grave Expectations mean I gain 4 life and gain 2 treasure tokens. Another Lootmonger, and then the opponent taps out. So let's see. Since I didn't see too many creatures, I get rid of Deadly Cover-Up and I bring in Phantasmal Extraction. Return the Favor. It's an interesting card because it's good against counter spells, it's good against targeted removal. Versus counter spells, you can redirect that counter spell to Return the Favor, and once Return the Favor resolves, that counter spell has no legal target, so it fizzles out. Let's see, this is a good hand. And I'm trying Thieving Aven as a sideboard card. The basic idea is, okay, since my opponent doesn't see too many creature cards during the first round, maybe they sideboard out some of that removal, and I can bring in Thieving Aven as a recurring source of Heist. I don't think it was the best play here versus Heist, because it can be a pain to remove, but during other forms of control, it could be a good card. So opponent has a Lootmonger. I see his Lootmonger. I raise him a Lootmonger. Then I see Unstoppable Slasher. But I take the Impetuous Lootmonger. So the thing is, if you heist a Slasher, he can't really play it because it has that effect when it goes to the graveyard, it returns under the owner's control. So I feel that's a wasted heist there, unless I'm trying to deny their game plan. But I feel I have enough answers to that Slasher that I'm not too worried if the opponent casts it. So here I'm kind of greedy. I could have traded Lootmongers. But no, I don't, because I'm trying to get treasure tokens, right? So more Lootmongers. Then 2 treasure tokens. Then I kind of go full greed, I think. Nah, I keep the land, so 1 more Lootmonger for good luck. And then 3 treasure tokens. So as you can see, it can get pretty ridiculous with all this ramping. And then I give up my loot monger. Okay. I thought about Oculus there, but I see I got 6 cards in hand. Are in the graveyard. So I figure, okay, I'll try it out. And with these 3 treasure tokens, I have Weave the Nightmare to answer any non-creature spells the opponent might try. So Triumphant Getaway. Counter. And I think I want to take that Lootmonger away. But then the lockbox triggers. So opponents able to counter my Weave the Nightmare and Heist my library. And that's not too big of a deal because that's another card going in my graveyard for the Oculus. And I still have 4 loot mongers in play. Opponent also plays a loot monger. Now this time they're gonna start gaining life. But discard is the Triumphant Getaway, so that's cool. So I'd say that's a little impatient by the opponent, because next turn they can play a loot monger, play that getaway, and then start chaining spells. You saw the Grave Expectations, and that's usually a great card versus Heist when you have Triumphant Getaway out, because you can Heist Grave Expectations, and then you can cast that cast that Grave Expectations, and then do that over and over, and you'll be gaining and draining life in the process. So unfortunately, I'm not able to cast the Oculus successfully. It gets countered. But I do get 4 tokens. I feel I have enough mana, so I'm just gonna swing in with 2 for the defense. I'm not worried about losing 2 at all. There's the Triumphant Getaway. So it looks like that's from my library. See, this is what I'm talking about. You chain Grave Expectations, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. You got 3 heist cards in hand. You just heisted with Expectations. Yeah, that's probably death for me. So, as far as what I decide to spend, pretty much the same for the most part. Yeah, so kind of going full suite of counter spells that I have available. I'll go first. Decent hand. If I can get the Thieving Aven to stick, I can use it to put counters on Bandit's Hall, A little bit of flood here. Nothing going. So drops the Cindercone Smite. Here I'm going Bandit's Hall over the Aven, just because I have grave expectations. I can start powering it up. And then Triumphant Getaway also counts as a prime, so that's another counter. I forget the name of the counters you put on Bandit's Hall, but counters, and when you get 2 you can draw using it. Okay, so the opponent drops their Triumphant Getaway. I'm a Heist. Nothing I'm too excited to see. I'm gonna go Nowhere to Run, just because I don't have any targeted removal in hand. And I get a Triumphant Getaway with my... That's good. I'll go my own Triumphant Getaway. Pull out Lootmonger and a giveaway, or getaway. I cast my getaway first, just so I can get the bonus from casting the opponent's getaway. I'll drain life, and I'm not too worried about discard. Okay, so they're changing out with greater expectations, which is good. I can gain back that life pretty easily. I want that land. So yeah, the play I want to go for here is to remove your Lootmonger. And I can try to swing in with Muskegon Haven. Okay, but my Thieving Haven doesn't sound it before. So it looks like dire times for me. But I do have 2 Triumphant Getaways. I also have a Grave Expectation. I don't know if playing the Lootmonger first was a proper play for the sake of life gain. But yeah, I do get a treasure token, so that's cool. take out the slasher here just because I don't have much good removal. And just going back to that strategy, let me drain some life. I do get a lockbox, so I can make the opponent sweat a little. Look, I'm back in the life lead. So double lockbox. But again, I'm going to go slasher. Trying to figure out, hey, what can my opponent cast to mess me up? I don't see loot mongers on the opponent's side, so I believe I'll go for 2. I'll go for 3. No, 2. Yeah, so I'm looking out for loot mongers, and I don't know how it works for Phantom Interference. I think Phantom Interference's mana cost is actually 1. And I believe it happens in this game where the opponent casts a Phantom Interference counter spell, but I'm unable to copy it with the loot box. Or lockbox. I keep calling it a loot box. So I'm gonna play another Triumphant Getaway. It's kind of greedy, but well, I think play out the land, and then I don't have to discard anything longer because I have nothing to discard. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. I chose to. And I don't know. I don't think I even tried to sacrifice. I don't know if it's an optional sacrifice or what. But oh well, it works out. I was able to pay that too. Not like I was gonna be using that mana for anything of their turn. Maybe I could have drawn from Bandit's Hall. Probably not, right? So Porcine on the I forget what you call it. I think I have enough to kill with Triumphant Gift. So then I can drop those 2 unstoppable slashers. And that's what 6, 12, 18, 18 damage, right? So that's game. It's just kind of chill Saturday for me, so none too much, none too hype here. With that said, thanks for watching. My Twitter, I always call it Twitter. I'm old, huh? My X is Cardboard.Capitan. My Mox field is Cardboard.Capitan. I'm still working out the problems with this Heist deck. I'm experimenting a bit, trying different cards, so no deck list for this yet. Probably do that tomorrow night, but yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.